Hi there, I'm professional psychic Karen Marie, and this is Psyched Up for Sunday, December 19th, 2021. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't done so already, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe to this channel. Like it, share it with your friends. Also, just to let you know a little bit about me, I've been doing professional psychic readings here in Austin, Texas since 1988. I'm an empath, which means I feel what's going on for other people in my physical body. I'm a channel, which means information just comes through me to others. And I'm a medium, which means I pick up on loved ones that have crossed. I use astrology and tarot when I'm doing my private sessions, and I channel with both of them. So, just to let you know, I do have gift certificates available if you'd like to purchase or psychic reading or past life regression or a rebirthing session or a psychic development session for a friend or loved one for a Christmas present. Just throwing that out there. So I'm going to talk about the transits for the week as usual, and then I'll do mini readings for all 12 signs, and I'll put the timestamps below for the signs. But this is for your sun sign, your moon sign, and your rising sign, or if you have a stellium, which means 3 or more planets in a sign. But also, like I've been saying in recent videos, everyone has all 12 signs in their chart. So if you know your chart, you can listen to each sign and know that it applies to a particular area of your life, because each person has all 12 signs in their chart, and a house, it's divided into 12 houses. And so each house is represented by a different sign depending on when you were born. And that's why it's important to know the time and place of your birth, because that's what places everything in the chart and gives you your rising sign. And the rising sign is every bit as important as the sun sign. So just throwing that out there. So I'm going to start with the sun, which right now, as I'm recording this, is at 28 degrees of Sagittarius. So today and tomorrow, it's the last degrees of Sagittarius. So this is the wrapping up of the lessons of Sag. So Sag is about your belief systems, and the last degrees it's about what you believe to be true about the future. So you may be finding this coming to a head today, tomorrow, about what it is that you believe your future holds. And your beliefs create your reality. It's one of the things that puts together and manifest into the future. When people get readings, they often are assuming it's all about the future. And really, my psychic readings are way more about helping you get clear in this present moment and validating your own intuition, because I believe everyone is psychic. We all have intuitive abilities, and those abilities can be heightened and developed no matter how they show up for you. And they show up in lots of different ways. So, we also just had yesterday, last night, the full moon in Gemini. It was at 27 degrees of Gemini. That's where the moon was. And across the skies, the sun was at 27 degrees of Sagittarius, which is the galactic center. And then Jupiter was trining the moon and sextiling the sun. These are positive aspects from the good luck planet, and the planet that brings it makes things bigger. So I really felt that full moon last night, had amazingly vivid dreams. Actually, the last several nights I've had some pretty incredible dreams, which I usually experience around the full moon. I often can't sleep well around when the moon is full. So if you've been having difficulty sleeping as well, you can look to the moon as maybe the source of that difficulty. But oh my goodness, were my dreams super vivid and real over the last few days. So the galactic center, where the sun was at yesterday, is a place where we can receive downloads from spirit, downloads from the higher consciousness. Like, it was a super powerful, potent full moon. So we're still feeling that today. Um, Today we've had two planets shift directions. So we had Venus, which is at 26 degrees of Capricorn, station retrograde today. And then we had Chiron, which is at 8 degrees of Aries, station direct. So this gives extra potency for this day, and we're feeling this on a deep level. So I'm going to talk a little bit about each of these. So Chiron has been moving. It's at 8 degrees of Aries. So it's already been at this point before. It went up and it's gone back retrograde, and now it's moving back forward again. It will not come back to this place in the skies. So it's when it's moving direct out of it, it's been in the same area since I believe it's the spring of 2020. So we've been dealing with this energy for a while. Now, Chiron in the early degrees of Aries Chiron is the wounded healer. Where it is in your birth chart is a place where you've been wounded in many, many lifetimes and will usually show up in your childhood in this lifetime, and will be a place where we repeat karmic patterns until you heal this area of your life. So you're not subject to deal with this forever. The glyph for Chiron actually looks like a key. So once you heal these areas, they become a place of strength, much like where you've had a cut and it's healed and then scarred over. That scar tissue is actually stronger in the area than the skin was originally. So this Chiron in early degrees of Aries, as the transiting Chiron, has been helping us heal our relationship with ourselves. And the first decan of Aries is about how we feel about ourselves. Aries is the warrior. It's a cardinal sign. It's initiating things. I mean, it initiates all kinds of things. But so Chiron in this early decan of Aries has been helping us heal, I believe, what we feel about ourselves, what we think to be true about ourselves, what do we believe to be true about ourselves. And then depending on where Chiron is or where Aries is in your chart, it'll be healing those particular areas in your life. For example, if you have Aries ruling your seventh house, the house of relationships, you've not only been healing how you feel about yourself, but you've been healing your relationships with other people, for example. So depending on where you've got Chiron showing up right now, you've been working on healing that. So when we now finally move forward, it won't come back to these degrees. It'll be moving into the second decan, which is healing our connections and relationships with other people. That's what the second decan of any sign is, our relationship with the world around us. The first decan is always about personal connection and healing. So you may feel like you've healed something within yourself, how you feel about yourself, what you think about yourself, what you believe to be true about your own self and what you can manifest and what you can do on the planet. So this is a very much a positive sign. Venus is the planet that represents our relationships, all kinds of relationships, what we love to do, who we love, what we love is also how we receive energy, whether we're open or not, depending on what's going on in your personal Venus. And then also it's our money and it's our values. So, Venus rules Libra and it rules Taurus. So you would also look to in your chart where Venus and Taurus is. I mean, where Taurus is and where Libra is in your chart, because this retrograde period can activate these areas of your chart depending on what's going on. And again, happy to help you dive into that on a personal level and decode all of this. And then also wherever your personal Venus is going to get activated with this Venus retrograde. So you can find yourself when Venus goes retrograde, it can be revisiting old relationships. It can be revisiting your values, revisiting, your experiences in relationships. It can be revaluing how you spend your money. When it goes retrograde, it's often very, very common for past relationships to surface. Now, Venus will be retrograde from today, the 19th, until the 29th of January. So this is a relatively long transit. And then it will go back to 11 degrees of Capricorn, and then it'll begin to move forward. So it doesn't clear its shadow period, meaning going back over this period, it's gone over by the time it goes retrograde all the way back to 11, stops, turns direct. It will have gone over this same area of your chart 3 different times. And then in early March is when it actually moves on and will go into Aquarius. and begin another theme. So when Venus is retrograde, past life people can come into your life, whether or not you've known them before this lifetime and they are resurfacing, or people that you've never met before, but you know you have a past life connection with, can easily come in during these times. Old lovers can resurface, can come out of nowhere, contact you. Um, Revisit. You can revisit in your own mind. You could be thinking back on past relationships and how you've done things, thinking back on how you've handled your money and your finances. It's a time to be very careful when it comes to relationships and how you spend your money. It's like, well, slow down. Doesn't mean you can't buy things or start new relationships when Venus is retrograde, but make sure you've thought things through. I would say if you begin a relationship during this period of Venus retrograde, stick around before you draw any conclusions till Venus goes direct and it's back in and it moves up into Aquarius. If you're still kicking it with someone you've met during Venus retrograde, by the time Venus moves forward and into another sign, you're good to go. But it's a classic thing when Venus goes retrograde to get into relationships that can be somewhat obsessive or codependent or whatever your old relationship patterns have been. Doesn't necessarily have to be true. You can transform your approach to relationships during a retrograde. It's just time to go slowly. Same thing with spending money. Like, whoa, 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 slow down. Like, think things through. Don't compulsively spend things. It's not a good time to like invest in new things or sign contracts or start new projects when any of the personal planets are retrograde. It's usually a time like, wait, don't do that. But what's making this Venus retrograde extra powerful is that it's sitting right next to Pluto. So Pluto's sitting at 25 degrees of Capricorn. So Venus is just on the other side of that. In fact, it'll back over and connect again with Pluto exactly on Christmas Day, but just 1 degree off of it, we're still feeling it strongly right now. So Pluto is the planet of death and transformation. Pluto is like a wrecking ball or a hand grenade. It always transforms whatever it's next to. So whatever your relationship stories has been, Pluto is going to help transform it. So if you've been single for a long time and wanting relationship to come in, it could really happen during this Venus retrograde. And chances are it'll be with someone that you feel a very strong past life connection with, or a relationship from the past could resurface and you decide to try it out again. That can easily happen. Relationships that are already wobbly and volatile, Pluto is death and transformation, so it can bring an ending to relationships that are not supposed to be happening, right? If you're in a relationship and it's been kind of wonky for a while, chances are it can go belly up here over the next couple months. It's not absolutely predictive of that, but if you're in an already volatile relationship, do not be surprised if there aren't explosive, transformative things that happen while Venus is retrograde that make you go, oh, no, I'm not, I'm getting off this train. This is not working for me. And again, you can buy things, you can invest, but like really sort through, really feel that out. Venus rules Libra, and Libra goes back and forth and back and forth. So this is the time you definitely want to feel things out before you make any decision regarding your love life, what you love to do, and how you spend your money. So it can reverse karmic patterns. So that's a good thing. And transform. Pluto is transformation. So it can transform relationships. So I really like Venus retrograde. I usually, of course, I've been single for 4 years, so it's not personally affecting me recently, but you never know. Like I could be reporting that I've got a new relationship that's come in during this retrograde, and so can you. So it doesn't have to mean OMG, but it's just go more carefully when it comes to relationships and your money. That's one thing, a couple things to just keep in mind. And Pluto will bring that wrecking ball energy as well. So just don't be surprised if all of a sudden your relationship any kind of relationship. It could be friendships, it could be business relationship. It doesn't necessarily just involve your romantic relationships, but classically, Venus is connected to primary relationships. Okay, so we also have had Mercury's moved into Capricorn now. The sun will be moving into Capricorn on Tuesday at the winter solstice. So some of the themes that will be going through when the sun over the 30 days it's in Capricorn. Capricorn's an earth sign, right? So it's more serious, it's more practical. So Mercury in Capricorn makes people more thoughtful, more deliberate in their conversations. So you can have some deep level, powerful conversations in your relationships while Mercury is in Capricorn. On tomorrow, I believe, it's Mercury is going to be trining. Is that right? Mercury's in Capricorn. It's going to be squaring Neptune. Is that right? Sorry about that. I'm looking at my notes here. I know that there's an aspect. It's a trine, right? Um, Mercury is at 9 degrees. Yes, trining. Trining is a positive connection. Square is a more difficult challenge. So Mercury, the planet of communication and our thoughts, will be trining Uranus on the 20th. So this can be like really great. Uranus, oh, so not Uranus, not Neptune. So that's why I was looking at the wrong place. Okay, yeah. I've got the chart up here on the computer screen. I was like, no. So Uranus is sitting at 11 degrees of Taurus. All right. So this is Uranus is the great awakener. It's sudden, unexpected things. It's insights that you may not suspect. So Mercury's communication, Uranus at making awakenings, insights. So you can have amazing conversations tomorrow on the 20th with this trine between Mercury and Uranus. So this is a positive thing. Again, Mercury's in Capricorn. So these, it could be surprising conversations, new insights, because Mercury rules the mind. So you can have it just a conversation with yourself or with your spirit guides. You can have some amazing dreams that are revelatory too. You can also, like, if this transformation energy in relationships with the Pluto Venus connection, you may be inspired, Uranus, to finally say something, Mercury, and get something off your chest. Like Mercury in Capricorn is very hardworking. Capricorn energy is hardworking in general. So the sun's going to be moving into this on Tuesday. So Capricorn is like maturity and it's like aging and it's responsibility and it's grounded energies because it's an earth sign. It's realistic. It can deal with responsibilities. You can have communication around responsibilities around your house, in your workplace. So there's a strong sort of grounded energy that comes into communication with Mercury moving through Capricorn. And then when the sun will join it, it will emphasize and shine the light on these Capricorn energies for the next 30 days. So, so again, whatever part of your chart that Capricorn rules will be highlighted then over the next 30 days. And you can, in this area of your life, can be like what needs energy and attention. Like Capricorn wants to work hard, get things done, sew up the loose ends, have honest conversations, be practical. It's fortitude. Capricorn rules bones. And so it's like having a strong backbone, teeth, just like the nuts and bolts of things, right? Does a relationship have a strong backbone? Does it have a strong foundation is what Capricorn wants to know. So if you're starting a relationship with this Venus retrograde, the good news is that Capricorn, the sun in Capricorn and Mercury in Capricorn can help lay a very strong conversation, like in communication foundation, and just practically being able to work really hard in your relationships in all areas of your life, because Capricorn is a hard worker. Capricorns do what they say they're going to do in general, unless they've got something else flaky in their chart. But the Capricorn energy is reliable. It's the natural parenting energy. It's the leader energy. In the astrology, Capricorn rules the 10th house, which is the house of your mission, like what you came onto the planet to do. And so you might get some illuminated downloads about that over these next 30 days, particularly with Mercury, which rules your thoughts and your communication, and the sun in this same sign. Pluto is also there, and Venus is also there. So we're going to have this stellium, and so is Juno right now, which is the good wife. It's the asteroid that represents positive connected relationships or partnerships. So we'll be having this stellium in Capricorn. So all this Capricorn energy, all these qualities I'm talking about, um, with Capricorn are going to be highlighted. Capricorn's great for manifesting. A lot of Capricorns are great at manifesting. And like I said, hardworking. They do what they say they're going to do. So it's a reliable, strong, grounded energy that we're moving into. So even though Venus is retrograde, that we've got this strong energy. So I don't feel like it's going to be a negative time period. Like even if you have a relationship that goes belly up during this time period, it's the universe taking away something from you that is not serving you, because this all feels like fortifying, building up, strengthening your life kind of energy that we're going to be moving through over the next 30 days. So I see this as a super positive. Um, Another aspect that we have this week, besides the trine between Mercury and Uranus, is that we'll have Saturn in Aquarius. Saturn is the rules, how we structure things. It's the it can be the government, it can be, how we form things, how we organize our life. In Aquarius, it's been a strong emphasis on humanity and others. So right now, Saturn's at 10 degrees and Uranus is at 11 and it's retrograde. So they're going to meet up on the day before Christmas, the 24th, in their third and final square of the year. So we don't know how this is going to show up, but I will say that when these two first squared off in February was when we had the big, huge freeze here in Texas, right? So we had sudden, unexpected Uranus weather that shut us down, Saturn, for a week at a time, losing power, losing water. And so this is how the square showed up the first time. Over the summer, they squared again and it was more mild. So it doesn't have to be a great catastrophe square off, but we can expect something with the government, Saturn in Aquarius, and Uranus, the great awakener in Taurus. There's going to be something showing up on a global scale the day before Christmas. So that can be super intensive. There's also, I didn't put my book in front of me. So we're having the Pluto return right now as well. So Pluto is at 25 degrees of Capricorn. In the United States, the natal Pluto is at 27 degrees. So we're already 2 degrees. We're already in a conjunction with the natal. And so this is death and transformation, power and control, meeting death and transformation, power and control. These two are exact in February. And then they're exact again in June and exact again next December. So all of 2022 is going to be about this Pluto return. So you'll hear a lot more about this. We'll still be having this Saturn squaring Uranus, in that orb into next year as well. So this can be a volatile energy. People have been asking me how long I feel like the pandemic is going to continue. And I look at where Neptune is right now at 20 degrees of Pisces, and it is opposite, an opposition with the United States Neptune, which is sitting in Virgo. And it's in an opposition, give or take a few degrees, for the next couple of years. So, I mean, I feel like we're in for a while longer with this um, pandemic, because one of the things that Neptune in Pisces represents is mucus. And the United States Neptune is in Virgo, which represents health. So an opposition can be like a tug of war energy. So we've got the transiting Neptune in Pisces, which is a spiritual psychic place, but again, can also represent water and mucus. Neptune is water. And then we've got the planet that represents hell, I mean, the sign that represents health, Virgo, that's where the United States Neptune is. And with this opposition, I just feel like there's going to be more health stuff going on, and particularly upper respiratory stuff that involves mucus for the next couple of years, at least through 2022. I haven't looked too much into 2023 yet. I've been really just studying the aspects of 2022 lately. And so we will have our nodes shifting in January. Right now, and nodes go, it's about an 18-month cycle. They go backwards, whereas most planets go from 0 as the first degree to 29 being the last degree. The nodes move the opposite. They move from 29 to 0. They move backwards. They're retrograde energy. And so they're at 1 degree right now, 1 degree of Gemini and 1 degree of Sagittarius. And in January, they'll move into Taurus and Scorpio, creating a whole new theme that will all be operating on under as well. So I'll talk more about that as we get closer to that next year, next month, anyway, January. So we're still feeling the wake of the full moon and the sun being on the galactic center. We're wrapping up the lessons of Sagittarius, spiritual understandings, what we believe to be true about our future over the next couple of days. Chiron is going direct, so we're actually feeling a shift when it comes to an area that we felt we've been working on healing, and that we should feel some success with having accomplished some sort of healing on a personal level. Venus is retrograde now for a little, through most of January. So careful in your relationships, careful with your money. Don't be surprised if you don't have exes come back onto the scene, or you run into people you've known before, or you may feel compelled to be the one reaching out to an ex, or you may just see them spontaneously. Mercury and the Sun and Venus and Pluto all in Capricorn really drills down, laying a strong foundation, working really hard, feeling really grounded, feeling really responsible, being honest with yourself about what you can and can't do, being truthful. I can do that. I can't do that. Pluto's there giving it an extra punch, transforming things. But I'm getting that it's super positive. Uranus can be bringing out of nowhere weather related things, because it's in Taurus. Anything affecting the earth, Uranus can be shaking up the earth. We've been experiencing this for several years now. Extra volcanoes, extra fires, extra tornadoes, extra hurricanes. That theme will be continuing for the next few years. Well, Uranus continues transiting through Taurus. It takes 7 to 8 years to transit a sign. So it's in the middle. It's at 11 degrees. So it's got to go all the way to 29 degrees. So we got a lot more of that going on. Saturn in Aquarius is really helping us change up how we form things when it comes to everybody, humanity, everybody vibing together. Jupiter is one I haven't talked about. It's at 28 degrees of Aquarius. So it's wrapping up the lesson of this, what's the best thing for the greater good? What is good for everyone? At the end of this month, it's like the 29th, I believe, of December, Jupiter will be moving into Pisces. So it will be starting a whole new theme of focus on spiritual psychic expansion, but also Neptune is water. So Jupiter moving into Neptune could be extra water events starting, at the very last part of December into January. I mean, it'll take a while to transit the sign of Pisces. So I wouldn't be surprised if next year isn't heralded with a lot of water events, flooding, for example, heavy rains, that kind of thing. So, but also heightened spiritual and psychic abilities. Neptune there has been doing that for a while, opening us all up to downloads, spiritual and psychic downloads. So believe that's all I feel called to talk about the transits for this week. Again, if you're on Facebook or Instagram, I do daily 1-minute videos that I post on both of those, and I'll put the links to that underneath this video too. So check those out. If there's an important transit for the day, I'll talk about it. I usually also draw a card, or sometimes I just draw a card, depending on what I feel guided to do. So you can get little tidbits of what's going on a daily basis if you tune into Facebook or Instagram, right? So, and again, you can always contact me if you would like a private reading, and we can look at what's going on and how these transits are affecting you personally. One thing I didn't talk about was the moon. It's right now in the first decan of Cancer. So over the next couple of days, it'll be moving through Cancer. It makes everybody extra sensitive when the moon is in Cancer. We just had the full moon, which heightens sensitivity anyway. And then the moon can make people extra emotional, extra sensitive. So just, know that. And then after a couple days in Cancer, it's going to move into Leo just in time for Christmas energy and parties and everybody being social. So, I think we've got a good week ahead as long as you just tune in. I advocate meditation every day, connecting with your spiritual center every day so that you can be tapped into your intuition. Our intuition is our internal GPS system. If we're listening to our intuition and letting our intuition guide us through our life, we're going to be in rhythm. We're going to be taking the action that we feel guided to take. We're going to not take action that we don't feel guided to take, right? We'll just be tuned in that way. So people ask me all the time, do my psychic abilities just show up in daily life? It's like, absolutely they do. And I had an incident happen just a couple of days ago on Friday. I was test driving cars with my son, who's was car shopping, right? I was the passenger. We got in 3 different vehicles. The third vehicle I was in, I don't know who owned that car, but I could barely stand being in the car. It was just funky energy. And then we're almost back to the dealership. And I said out loud, I wonder how many people wreck cars when they're test driving them. And my son goes, why would you say that? Like, I don't know. It's just what came out, just what I got right. And so he wanted to test drive a 4th car. And I just like, no, I can't get in another car that's not mine right now. You go ahead. 2 minutes after, he left and I heard this crash. And my first thought was, oh my God, it was him. But it wasn't. But it was a car that had an accident at the exact spot where 5 minutes before I had blurted out of my mouth, I wonder how many people have accidents when they're test driving cars. Like the exact spot where I had said that was exactly where an accident happened 5 minutes later. So did I know an accident was going to happen? No. But that just, that's just an example of how my psychic abilities will show up. And even I get freaked out about it. It's like, oh my God, I just said that. Wow, right there where that wreck just happened is where I got that, that came out of my mouth. So when you pay attention to your psychic abilities, they grow and they develop, right? So if you need help with that, I'd love to help you out with that. All right, so now I'm going to move to doing mini readings for all the signs. We'll see what's on tap for each sign for this week, what you need to know, what's important. We'll start with the Aries. Last week, if you watched the video, I pulled the same card for 6 signs. I've never pulled the same card more than 2 times. So that was like, it was all about healing. So did everybody experience some sort of healing last week? Because that's what was up. Hopefully we'll be picking different cards this week, but wow, that was really something. And we have the laziness for the Aries. Okay. So this doesn't mean you're lazy. It may mean you don't feel like doing much, or you may be just super tired. This card also shows up often when people are dealing with addiction. There's like the Mai Tai thing going on. I just don't want to, I'm stuck. People can feel stuck, frozen, They can't get to what they want to do. They just don't feel motivated. So it looks like Aries, you could feel offline this week and just like, and this can be the card that represents taking a vacation, relaxing. Maybe you don't have anything you should be doing this week. Relaxing doesn't necessarily mean it's a negative thing. But if you're experiencing this laziness, if you're experiencing procrastination towards something, then you need to take action around. So this can be something that you can ask for help from your higher guides about. This There's this blue sky and this little bird, I guess that is flying up there, a little white dot there on the card. It looks like a little bird. So to me, it feels like this is a little spirit guide giving you some information. The skies are blue, so life is good. You might just be feeling funky or tired or need to take a break and need to relax. Let somebody else serve you. This could also be just feeling a little bit sick or a little bit low energy. Um, I really do feel like that there are some issues of like procrastination or like not wanting to do something. So tune in with yourself. Are you making yourself do something that it's coming from your head and not your guidance? Or are you avoiding something that you've been feeling guided to do and just forcing yourself out the door, forcing yourself to just get into that stack of paperwork you've been avoiding, wrap those presents, go shopping. Maybe you haven't done your Christmas shopping yet and you're just like, I don't really want to. I feel like there's also this, give yourself permission to take it easy. Really check in with your own intuition on a daily basis in the morning. Like, what do I feel guided to do today? And I would say if there's something you've been procrastinating about, put it on the agenda for tomorrow morning, Monday morning. Like, get it done. Just dig through it, go through it, get it done. And so that you can feel the pressure lift, so you don't feel guilty or beating yourself up over something that you're not accomplishing. Um, and I also feel like this guy he's sitting there with his shades on. I don't know if he's paying attention to what's going on or he's just like sleeping underneath those glasses. But it could also, to me, it's like reflecting on the year. Did you take, what has your year been? If you've taken a lot of action, made a lot of changes this year, you've worked hard, maybe you deserve a break. Maybe it's a week where it's okay just to chill, take some time off and don't feel guilty about it. Only you know whether you're avoiding something and you need to inspire yourself to take some action, or whether you give yourself permission to just enjoy chilling, right? Seems to be one or the other, but whatever it is, have a good week. All righty, Tauruses. This is the Beyond Illusion card. This is the third eye opening. This is getting strong psychic insights, huge reveals in your dreams, downloads from spirit. This is like a channeled energy, strong intuition, strong sense of knowing what's right or knowing what to say. I feel like, this person's got their mouth closed. They're not talking to me. It feels like you may be feeling quieter than usual this week. There may be a lot of social going on and you may just be feeling like you're sort of watching what's happening and not participating as much. Just quiet is what I'm hearing, that you may just feel more quiet or that need to spend more time in quiet. Maybe you need to step away from the family festivities and just say, I just need to go spend some time by myself, or I need to go to bed early. I need to soak in the tub. I need to stand in the shower extra long. It just feels like self-care and listening to yourself, and that there's some like connecting with your own intuition that's super important this week, so that and this may come up in your relationships where this Venus retrograde and conjunct Pluto stuff may be super intensive going on for you. So there's a need to just be guided instead of like get out of your head, instead of trying to figure things out, and just trust your intuition, trust your heart. and what feels right. And I would take any questions you have into meditation and lift them up, not sit there and chew on them while you're meditating or praying or chanting or walking in the woods or swimming or whatever you do to center, but to just and offer it up before you go to sleep too. I need insight. I need guidance into this. Help me out. Show me revealing information. Let me know really loud and clear what it is I'm supposed to be doing. So if you get quiet and you just look at what the universe seems to be showing you through the words and actions and situations around you that you're shown, I feel like this can be a very insightful week that you can really get some of the insight and direction that you've been longing to get. Okay. Geminis. So this is the clinging to the past card. So this is where you're chewing over something over and over and over again, something from your past, relationships from your past deeds, what you've done before. It can also be past life stuff that comes up. But this is where you're kind of stuck replaying something over and over and over again. So the goal here is to stop yourself, pull yourself into the present moment. What do I feel guided about right now? Do I need to take action right now? Do I need to shift or change anything right now? Sometimes just affirming the past is over. I'm not going to repeat the past again. It's an old story. I'm creating a new story. Sometimes you have to keep telling that to yourself if you're dealing with a memory, especially if it's haunting you, like something keeps coming up again and again and again that's from the past, a past thought, a past relationship, past thing that you've done and just can't stop thinking about. This is an opportunity to just say, okay, this is over. This is done. Bring yourself into the present moment. Am I okay now? Am I doing this now? Let me shift the energy right now so that I can have a new story in my future. We're about to go into a new year. I'm going to leave the past in the past and I want to create a new future. This may be about habits. I'm seeing the green energy. To me, it's about maybe things that you're doing that aren't contributing to your health or healing or taking away from how feeling good physically, maybe what you're eating, what you're drinking, exercise not enough, that kind of thing, and that you've been stuck in a rut when it comes to how you're taking care of yourself, and that needs to be shifting. So Venus retrograde can help you go back and love yourself in a better, stronger way. And just know that the past is over. You can't change it. You can change the present, and your future can change. You don't have to keep repeating the karmic pattern. If you notice that you're stuck in a karmic pattern, you can just call it a halt and say it's over. That's an old story. I really recommend telling yourself that, repeating that to yourself when you like, well, I always, or I this, if there's an always or I never or I should, like all that stuff that's like regurgitating the past. If you catch yourself saying that out loud or thinking that, try to just stop yourself in mid sentence and say, that's an old story. I never get what, no, that's an old story. It's an old story that I never get. Now, my new story is that, and replace it, right? So it feels like there's some needing to shift an old mental pattern in particular. Maybe habits and behaviors that need to shift or change. And then I never am able to do that. Like, okay, well, that's the old story that you were never able to do that. The new story is that you're going to easily be able to do that, for example. All right. Cancers. The healing card. This is the card that came up 6 times last week. First time it's come up today, though. So the healing card is to me, it feels like receiving help from the universe. Like you don't have to do it by yourself, whatever it is. Like it feels like there's an overwhelm, like feeling like the universe is almost batting you like waves that won't stop hitting you in the face. And there's a need to just trust that, to receive the healing energies from the universe. Like let whatever's been hitting you hard go. You may be dealing with some health stuff. You may be dealing with, cedar fever if you're here in Austin, or it could be some COVID stuff. Um, I feel like whatever it is mild. It doesn't feel like heavy duty. It just feels like it's more that you've let yourself get worn down, and so things are affecting you extra strongly. And the allergies can be tied to being irritated by someone close, and it feels like there is that, like someone close to you is like irritating the f out of you. And so how can you pull your energy back, pull your power back? What do you have power and control over? We never have power and control over another person, what they do, what they don't do. We can choose how we respond to it, right? So this is like to activate a healing response. What is the best thing for you in response to someone else? What is the best thing for you in response to your crazy, stressful life? Like, what's the best? How can you up your self care? How can you maybe get on someone else's table, get underneath somebody else's healing hands? Nurture yourself so that you feel like that you're making a big shift. And I also am getting that there's a psychological shift, like a healing of the mind, that feels like it's a very positive thing this week. Like that you can feel like you've got almost like the hands of the divine on you in healing something and feeling calm and okay with something that has been battering you. I feel like there's going to be a real shift of the energies and taking your power back and just feeling better, really. So this healing does not feel like it's a negative thing. It's like it's very positive, and it feels deep level to me, Cancers, that you're shifting something on a very deep level, and realizing that you're in charge of your happiness. You're in charge of whether or not you feel loved or not. It has nothing to do with anyone else around you. And I feel like you're getting a very clear lesson about this week and will be feeling empowered by it. Okay. Leos. Little fiery lions. The We Are the World card is coming up. This card talks about the ultimate in potentiality, like anything's possible. This is like fulfilled dreams. This is about, yeah, your dreams coming true. Um, the energy of all the people around the globe here is like working together with others and feeling happy and feeling connected and feeling like you have people in your life that you love. This international energy of around the globe. You may be hearing from someone on the other side of the planet. You may decide to make plans to go visit somewhere else on the planet, or just communicate with someone that's on the other side of the planet. But the bottom line is this represents anything is possible. If you can dream of it, you can achieve it. This is a big amen. Absolutely go for it. What is your heart's desire? Is it on a relationship front? Is it on a business front? It's on your divine home. Whatever this is like dream big, because you can achieve big is what this card says. So it feels like you may have your dreams fulfilled this week, or have a sense of that they're going to be. Like it just feels very positive, very optimistic. Yeah, other people are key is what I'm feeling too, that other people are helping make your dreams come true. So whether that's, again, a relationship where you're not alone, or there's people helping to facilitate your dreams coming true, you're just feeling that yeah, yeah, we're all on this world together, and it takes everyone, and just feeling a part of, and feeling like you've got the support that you need, both in literal physical form and also just spiritually, is what I'm getting. The Leos. Okay, Virgos. This is the Sorrow card. So it feels like something may bring up some grief or sadness for you. You may have lost someone recently. Either they've crossed over, or there's a relationship that's ended, or something that's ended, or you may be feeling empathically connected to someone else who's lost something or suffering a loss. It may not just be you. You may just be picking up on the energy. But what I'm getting is like, here's this monk, it looks like it says. So it's almost like feeling the grief on the planet. You may just be being the empath, picking up. It may not be attached to anybody you know. You can just, maybe you're tapping into everybody who's alone over the holidays, kind of a feel, or anybody who's suffering. It may just be sort of a yourself picking up global issues. But I'm seeing this, right? This window, this pathway into the universe where the stars are shining and everything's clear. So it's also about like not getting too drilled down into whatever the sadness, the grief is. It's like, what is there to be appreciative of? What can I be grateful about? And am I being an empath? Do I need to just wring myself out? Am I being too much of an empathic sponge and I need to wring myself out and just breathe deeply? But so, and it may catch you off guard, is what I'm getting to. You may be surprised or feel like you get like a sucker punch of grief. So you may get some news that's disturbing. I just feel like the answer is to take it into meditation, go into the light, go into the night sky and look at the stars, get away from people and breathe deeply. Like it feels like there's a need to get away from the frenetic energy. Something feels stifling or heavy, and it feels emotionally heavy. And it may be your own feelings that are heavy, and you just need to maybe be with yourself and cry and let yourself feel the feeling and then let it move through. I definitely feel like some breath work, it can really be key to help moving these feelings, whether they're yours or whether they're someone else's, to, really do some focused, conscious breath work to move it on through so that you're not stuck in this energy or running away from it. Deal with it, climb in the tub, climb in the shower, bring it into meditation, breathe it, feel it fully, send a prayer out, light out to those that are suffering, send them love, send them peace, send yourself love, send yourself peace. And then I feel like this can shift and it can feel very powerful, very powerful shift. So, but also if you're not sure where the feeling's coming from and you just have this sense of grief or sadness, pay attention to any intuition that you get in connection with that. Like, what am I picking up on? Am I just picking up on collective grief? If there's someone that I need to reach out to and call and check in with, just pay attention to that. You may get some personal intuitive guidance about what to do with this energy. Okay. All right, we'll go to Libra. Here we go again with the healing card. And it's this same card that came up 6 times last week. So this is only the second time it's come up so far, but there's definitely a theme. And so my sense with this, that this card keeps coming up, is that there is some heavy duty need for healing that's going down on the planet. And Libras, y'all are very intuitive. And so it may be your stuff that you're going through a psychological healing, you're going through a physical healing, you're shifting something for all time. It feels like a deep level healing. You just may be empathic and picking up on people that are in need of healing on the planet. Like to me, this may be the need to go into prayer, chanting, meditation, and just sends a zap of healing energy to people who cross your radar or just to the world in general. Start with the people in your home, the people in your neighborhood, the people in your city, the people in your state, the people in your country, the people on this planet. Like just channel some healing energy is what I'm getting for the Libras, that you can help affect a change not only for yourself but for others this week. That there's a powerful energy that's on the planet right now, And there's a lot of people that are steeped in fear, especially with these new COVID variants coming out and all the media focusing on it. Like people are freaking out. A lot of it is fear and psychological healing. And, I believe that we have dis-ease in our thoughts and our emotions before we create disease in our bodies. So this is the need to get calm, get still, plug into spirit, know that you're okay. What do you need personally? What do you need to receive in terms of healing energy? And what do you need to send out to the world around you? That's what I'm getting right now with this card. Okay, dokie. Let's go with the Scorpios. I'm going to also shake up the deck a little just to make sure. It's so weird that it keeps cutting on that same card. There's 79 cards in this deck, so. All right, Scorpios. The Creator card. This is about manifesting and believing in yourself, that you have the light of the divine within you and that you can manifest what you need for your life. It's getting clear about what you want first, and then sending the affirmative signal out, believing that you can have it, you can make it, your dreams come true, have your thinking aligned with positive manifestation, your talk and aligned with what you want to make happen, and then your actions aligned with it, starting with the action of bringing your desire into meditation, right? Visualizing it, right? Feeling this fire in your belly burning to be able to manifest something, to start something new. I feel like you may get inspired downloads about things that you're going to be creating into the new year. There's just a warm energy going on. I feel like there's going to be really lovely energy connecting with friends and family this week, and just feeling like you may come together and decide to create or manifest something with other people. But there's a very warm, powerful energy of just like getting in touch with the power of who you are as a spiritual being, and not getting trapped in the physical, your physical body, the physical world around you, your money, finances. It feels like getting in touch with the energy source and just feeling unlimited in that the source energy is available to you, and that you've got that within you, you've got that around you, and connecting with that energy in a powerful way and being the creator of your life is what I'm getting for the Scorpios. Okay, dokie. Sagittariuses. This is the schizophrenia card. Doesn't mean you're crazy. It usually means that you feel torn down the middle with something, that you feel split. It also could be making a trip. You could be going to go to a relative's house or something where you're leaving the comfort of your home and going somewhere else. This card also comes up when there's a decision to be made and you feel split down the middle. You feel torn. I don't know whether to stay or go. I don't know how to bring these two conflicting pieces together. This person is stretched out to the max here. There's two little birds flying here. So I feel like it's about really getting insight from spirit about that direction, that you can trust your own inner voice. But it feels like it's time to decide. It's time to make a choice. It's time to take a leap of faith. This is movement away from something and movement towards something else. If you stay in the middle in the indecision part, that's what creates the schizophrenia, the crazy, and the split mind. To me, it feels like this could be something that you've been experiencing for a long time, and it's time to make a shift. It's time to make a change. There's a two here, and so two's about really being in touch with your feelings. And I feel like you may be batting back and forth something in your head, and like the need to drop down into your gut and drop down into how you feel about it, not what you think about it, may be helpful. Like, okay, how do I feel about this choice versus what do I feel about that choice? And can be mixed feelings. I also feel like if you're trying to make a decision, it may be a time to do a pros and cons list. These are all the pros, these are all the cons. You're in a relationship. Is it working for you? What are the list of pros in the relationship? What's the list of cons? Which list is bigger? That may be helpful. You're in a job you don't like. What are the list of pros? What are the list of cons? Maybe you're afraid to make a change. This also comes up when people are moving from one place to another, one house to another, one city to another, one job to another, one relationship to another. There's definitely, it feels like it could be more challenging than usual. I'm also feeling sort of like, ugh, the decision makes you feel kind of nauseous or kind of sick to your stomach. So, trust your own inner voice, your own inner guidance. This would be something that you can throw up to your guides as you go to sleep at night. Help me decide, make this decision very clear for me, so that I know. Bring me dreams that show me which direction to go, which actions to take, um, so that you're not feeling just torn down the middle and just going cray cray, right? And if you need a reading to help sort things through, call me up, right? We can often look at, okay, what would it look like if you stay in this relationship? What would it look like if you get out of the relationship and just do readings on it? What would it look like if you moved to Alabama? What would it look like if you moved to California? Like, and let's look, what would it look like to stay in this job versus leaving this job? We could look at the different choices and just see what comes up if you need some help in making decisions. All righty, Capricorns, heading into birthday time. My oldest daughter will be 35 this week. Happy birthday to Khadijah. I can't be old enough to have a 35-year-old. I know, that's what you're thinking, right? All right, let's see what the Capricorns need to know. Feel sorry for the Capricorns that have a birthday around Christmas, though. Y'all usually get shortchanged when it comes to birthdays, right? Birthday, Christmas comes together. You've got the awareness card coming up. This is insights, ahas, realizations, coming out of some darkness, some shadows, some things that you weren't certain about, having some clarity about changing your thinking. I feel like you have a change in perspective. It may show up in terms of like, oh, I've been looking at it the wrong way. I just need to look at it this way. It feels like it's downloads from spirit that can be super helpful with insights. Like there's this big energy, feels like it's being channeled in. So this may not be, does not feel like it's coming from your brain, you're thinking. It feels like it's coming from like that, wow, I could have had a V8 kind of thing. It's like spirit is just downloading stuff that you may just have something that feels like the angels are really showing up in live form, physical form, and showing you some things that you need to see, some powerful insights about yourself, primarily is what it feels like, but it could be also about the world around you or people in your life. At any rate, it feels like a huge relief, and like it feels like there's great appreciation to come out of the shadows and this like darkness energy that the shadow represents, and then into this new light that feels very much connected to spiritual downloads and psychic downloads and spiritual awakenings. Also, with this blue energy around it, I'm getting that just you may have some realizations while you're standing in the shower or soaking in the tub, or that there's something about water that's attached. Also, this it seems to like also turn into flames a little bit too. So even like you're looking at a candle or a fire and the flames turn blue sometimes. So there may be also some realizations. Maybe you're doing some candle gazing or gazing into a fireplace and having some thinking you see something in the flames, and having a realization or a thought come in that way. Insights, doesn't seem like it's thoughts. It feels like it's insights and like it feels hair raising. Like when it comes through, you can feel like, ooh, spirit is talking to me, or ooh, the angels are talking to me, or wow, I'm getting a download. It feels very powerful. So enjoy that download, Capricorns. All righty, Aquarians. This is the no thingness card. This is a blank, clean slate. It's a new beginning. It's a blank canvas. It says you are having a new start. There's something that's just beginning. Could be a new relationship, could be a new creative project, new job. You're moving to a new place. But it feels good in that it's open. Like you get to put on it what you want to. It's a new beginning. You get to lay a new foundation with something. The old is gone and there's something new. It can be a little bit disconcerting because you've stepped away from something or something is being replaced. But the exciting thing is if you get excited about a new future that you can create and that you're not repeating the past here, it feels like this is all new. And the no thingness is also being about not being attached to the physical, not being attached to the money in your bank account, not being attached to where you live, where you lay your head, what relationship you're in. Like it feels invigorating to step into a new place. It can feel disconcerting too. Like positive change can feel disconcerting just because you don't know what to expect and there's nothing there. But the no thingness is not a negative. This is a positive. It means you've cleared out some debris and you've made a big shift and change. And now you get to paint something new. What colors do you want to choose? What is it that you are in the about to create that's new? Um, are you laying a foundation in a new relationship? Are you starting a new creative project? Are you moved into a new space and you get to decorate a new home? Are you starting a new spiritual path and you get to take a new journey in connection with your higher self or your spirit guides? Whatever it is, it feels positive, even though it could be a little bit disconcerting. It feels exciting, and give yourself permission to be the inner child and color whatever colors you want to, use whatever paints you want to paint. Like, go for it. Don't judge it. Just follow your heart, follow your intuition. And then we have the Pisces. This is the traveling card. So you may be traveling to see family over the holidays, or someone may be traveling to see you. This could be literal, or you may be making plans to do some traveling soon. This also could be indicative of a spiritual journey that you are in. Maybe you're in a journey of recovery, or you're in some other symbol, like you're in a journey of growing spiritually, or doing regular spiritual practices, or you're honing a craft of some sort, you're learning an instrument and you're getting better at it. This is like there's some arduous work is what I get. Like climbing a mountain um is not easy, and this person is like, there's a person right here like on the journey already. So you, this is saying you've already started the journey. It's not a new beginning, it's continuing on the journey. This would be an affirmation that you're on the right track. Whatever you've started recently, you're on the right track. The sun is out. You're feeling illuminated. You're feeling validated. You're feeling invigorated. You're going to be able to see from a higher perspective, get more insights. It just may be the time where you're putting just one foot in front of the other too, and you can't really see the return on your investment yet, or you can't, maybe it's time to stop and acknowledge, hey, I have started a new journey. I may not be at the destination yet, but I've made some progress, is what it feels like. Um, so whether it's literal or spiritual, it still feels super positive, feels like it's a good week. It's a time to stop and acknowledge your achievements. You may be wanting to travel to a new place you've never gone before, or you may be going back to some place you've traveled to again and again. At any rate, whatever the traveling is, whether it's literal or figurative, it feels very positive and enriching for your life. All right. That's what I get for the Pisces. That's what I get for all 12 signs. So thank you so much for your long attention. And I appreciate all of you who watch these videos regularly, especially those of you that watch them all the way through. I know you're out there. Um, Appreciate you greatly. Have a very Merry Christmas.